I stand frozen in my kitchen, staring at the red velvet cake centered on my worn Formica countertop. The elegant script in burgundy frosting reads, "Happy 8 months Typhime," with a precision that makes my stomach clench. Afternoon sunlight filters through the checkered kitchen curtains, casting long shadows across Taryn's face as she fidgets by the refrigerator. Her eyes darted between me and the back door like a cornered animal contemplating escape. My hands grip the counter edge, knuckles white against the faded laminate. The silence between us feels like concrete hardening. "Who's Travis, Taryn?" My voice comes out steadier than I expect, considering the thundering in my chest. Taryn lets out a nervous laugh that sounds like glass breaking. "It's just a cake from work, Lainey. Someone's work anniversary or something." She waves her hand dismissively, jangling the silver charm bracelet I gave her for Christmas 3 years ago when money was less tight. "And these?" I pull Travis's mail from my pocket, placing each envelope on the counter with deliberate care. 3 utility bills, a credit card statement, all addressed to Travis Monahan at your address. I lay them out like playing cards. "Also from work?" The color drains from Taryn's face. She opens her mouth, then closes it. The corner of her left eye twitches. The same tell she's had since we were kids playing Go Fish at our grandmother's lake house. I always knew when she was bluffing. 4 years ago, I stood under the harsh fluorescent lights of the manufacturing plant, my night shift supervisor badge catching the glare as I checked inventory sheets. My phone vibrated against my hip. Taryn's name flashed on the screen, and something in me already knew what was coming. "They're going to evict us, Lainey." Her voice broke through sobs. "Leo's dad is 3 months behind on child support, and I can't make rent by Friday." In the background, I heard Leo's small voice asking if they were going to be okay. 4 years old and clutching his worn teddy bear, the one with the missing eye that I'd sewn back on twice. I remember the weight of the checkbook in my hand, the moment of hesitation, the sigh that escaped me. "Just until you get back on your feet," I said, already calculating which bills I could delay paying myself. 1 month turned into 4, then a year. The Venmo transfers became routine. Rent, utilities, daycare, school supplies. I created a Google spreadsheet, documenting every dollar with meticulous precision, $42,600 and counting, a number that haunts me when I lie awake at night. I canceled my night classes toward certification in quality control management, postponed fixing the heating system in my car for 2 consecutive winters. Watched my savings account dwindle to triple, then double, then single digits. "You don't know what it's like to be a single mom," Taryn would say whenever I gently mentioned repayment. Her eyes would fill with tears, and I'd feel my resolve crumble. "Everything goes to Leo. You know that." Then came the admin job at Blackwell and Associates. Benefits, steady income, a fresh start, she called it. But the requests continued. "Transition expenses," she explained. "Getting established is expensive." I noticed the brand new robot vacuum humming across her living room floor during a Sunday visit. "Refurbished," Taryn claimed without meeting my eyes. Leo, now 8 and full of stories, mentioned Benihana dinners where the chefs flipped shrimp into their mouths. New toys appeared regularly, a tablet for educational games. And now this cake. This ridiculous, beautiful cake with its perfect script telling a truth Taryn never bothered to share. "How long?" I ask, my finger tracing the heart between the T and M. "Lainey, it's not what you think." Taryn steps toward me, hands outstretched, placating. "How long?" The words feel like stones in my mouth. Taryn's shoulders slump slightly. 8 months, but it's complicated. 8 months. 8 months of continued emergency requests for money. 8 months of just until next paycheck, and Leo needs new school shoes. 8 months of a man sharing her apartment, eating meals there, sleeping there, while I shivered through another winter with a broken car heater. I look at the cake again, seeing it with new clarity. The weight of 4 years of financial support crashes down on me all at once. Every sacrifice, every delayed dream. Every time I said yes when every cell in my body wanted to say no. Taryn's expression shifts from guilty to defensive. Her chin lifts. "You're overreacting. Travis is just a friend who needed a place to stay." "A friend." I tap the heart in the frosting. "With benefits, apparently." I don't have to explain my personal life to you. Her voice hardens and I recognize the tone. It's the one she uses when cornered, when the truth is too uncomfortable to admit. The sun shifts behind the curtains, and for a moment the kitchen is bathed in golden light. The cake gleams. The evidence sits in plain view. And for the first time in 4 years, so does the truth. Have you ever had that moment when you realize someone's been taking advantage of your kindness? That instant when all the little inconsistencies suddenly align into a pattern you can no longer ignore? I straighten my shoulders and meet my sister's eyes. This ends now. Get out, I yell at her. She takes her stuff and leaves frustrated. I think of the strategy of how to protect myself from these kinds of leeches. At my empty house now, the thought from 2 days ago flashes back. I stepped into Taryn's apartment, the key she pressed into my palm last night still warm in my fingers. Emergency at work? She'd explained, voice breathless over the phone. Just for a few hours. You're a lifesaver, Lainey. The apartment feels different somehow. I can't place it at first as I set my purse on the entry table, but then it hits me. A leather jacket hangs by the door, too large for Taryn's slender frame. Brown leather, worn at the elbows with a distinct masculine cut. My fingers brush against it as I pass, and the faint scent of sandalwood cologne lingers on my skin. I pause, stomach tightening. This doesn't belong to the Taryn. I know, the perpetually struggling single mom who texts me with utility bill screenshots and school supply lists. Aunt Lainey. Leo barrels into me from the living room, all gangly limbs and superhero pajamas despite it being 2 in the afternoon. His glasses sit crooked on his nose and a milk mustache frames his wide smile. Mom said you were coming. I hug him tight, breathing in the scent of chocolate milk and little boy. Hey buddy, what have you been up to today? Coloring. Travis showed me how to stay in the lines better. He grabs my hand, tugging me toward the kitchen table where a sprawl of markers and construction paper creates a rainbow battlefield. I freeze. Travis? Leo nods, completely unaware of the bomb he's just dropped. He makes the best pancakes. He puts chocolate chips in them and makes faces. Want to see my new tablet? Travis says I'm the best little buddy. My heart hammers against my ribs as Leo drags me to the living room couch. A brand new tablet, not the refurbished one Taryn claimed, was a school donation, sits on the coffee table. He taps through games, each one more elaborate than the last. Travis got it for me last month for being brave at the dentist, Leo announces proudly. Last month. The same month Taryn called me crying about needing $600 for Leo's dental work not covered by insurance. The same month I skipped 3 lunches a week to make the numbers work in my budget. Leo, sweetie, who is Travis exactly? I keep my voice casual, though my hands clenched into fists against my thighs. Mom's boyfriend, he lives here now. Leo shrugs as if this is old news. Since Christmas, I think. He sleeps in Mom's room. Christmas! 6 months ago. 6 months of emergency expenses. 6 months of tearful phone calls about the struggle of single motherhood. I need to use the bathroom, buddy. Keep coloring, okay? I ruffle his hair, my movements automatic while my mind races. In the bathroom, evidence mounts. A man's razor sits on the edge of the sink. Premium body wash, the kind that costs more than I spend on groceries in a week, stands in the shower caddy. A toothbrush holder with 3 brushes, pink, blue, and black. My fingernails dig into my palms. I open the medicine cabinet, finding men's deodorant and hair products, not the items of a casual visitor, but someone who lives here. Someone who has made himself at home while I worked overtime shifts to keep this roof over their heads. Back in the kitchen, I notice the junk drawer hanging slightly open. I shouldn't look, but something in me has snapped, a thread pulled too tight for too long. Inside, a stack of receipts tells their own story. Benihana, $147.82. Designer Outlet Mall, $392.65. Weekend getaway to Cedar Point, $405.30, dated during what Taryn had called a mandatory work conference. My fingers tremble as I pull out a credit card statement. Purchases at stores I've never entered, amounts I couldn't justify spending on myself. All while Taryn texted me photos of an empty refrigerator and claims of just until next paycheck. Aunt Lainey, look what else Travis got me. Leo appears, clutching a brand new Nintendo Switch. He says I'm the smartest kid he knows. The gaming system gleams in Leo's small hands. $400 minimum. 2 weeks ago, I sent Taryn $320 for school clothes and supplies. I swallow back the bitter taste in my throat. That's great, buddy. Hey, do you mind if I check Mom's bedroom for something? Leo shrugs, already absorbed in showing me how his game works. I slip down the hallway, my footsteps silent on the carpet Taryn claimed was falling apart when she asked me to help replace it last year. Taryn's bedroom door stands slightly ajar. I push it open, heart thundering. Men's clothes hang neatly in the closet. A watch sits on the nightstand, expensive, with a leather band. A half-empty cologne bottle stands beside it. My phone buzzes in my pocket. A text from my father. Taryn says you're watching Leo today. Remember, your sister needs you. That's what family does. The words swim before my eyes. 4 years of the same message from both parents. You're young, single, and doing well. Your sister has Leo to consider. Family supports family. My mother's voice echoes in my memory from their last visit before moving to Florida. We're so proud of your selfless devotion to your sister. You've always been the responsible one. I sink onto the edge of Taryn's bed, the truth crystallizing with painful clarity. I haven't been helping a struggling single mother get back on her feet. I've been funding Taryn's comfortable life with Travis, a man she never bothered to mention, much less introduce. The spreadsheet on my phone, $42,600 and counting, flashes through my mind. Not emergency support, not temporary assistance. A lifestyle subsidy for a sister who saw me as nothing more than an ATM with a convenient family obligation. Leo calls from the living room, his voice bright with childish excitement. Aunt Lainey, can we have ice cream? I straighten my shoulders and wipe my face, forcing a smile I don't feel. Sure, buddy, ice cream sounds perfect. But inside, something hardens. This betrayal goes beyond money. This is about lies, manipulation, and using my love for Leo as the perfect weapon against me. At the present at my home, my phone buzzes for the 17th time in 3 hours. I know the exact count because I've been watching the notifications pile up like storm clouds. 8 missed calls from Mom. 5 from Dad. 4 text messages with increasing urgency. Where is your compassion? Call us immediately. Your sister is devastated. We raised you better than this, Delaney. I place my phone screen down on the kitchen table, but it immediately starts vibrating again. The cheap laminate surface amplifies the sound until it feels like a jackhammer against my skull. The afternoon sun stretches shadows across my apartment as I finally reach for the device. Mom's tearful voicemail plays through the speaker. How could you be so cruel to your own sister? She's a single mother, for heaven's sake. Leo is asking why Aunt Lainey is being mean to his mommy. Is that what you want? To hurt a child? I delete it without responding and scroll through my social media. There it is, Taryn's carefully crafted public narrative. Her profile picture shows her and Leo with matching sad expressions. Sometimes the people you think will always have your back are the first ones to stab you in it. Toxic sister, single mom support, prayers. 38 sympathetic comments, 17 heart reactions. My throat tightens. 4 years of financial sacrifice rewritten as cruelty in a single post. The phone rings again. Dad's name flashes on the screen. I take a deep breath and answer, putting it on speaker so I can still grip the edge of the table for support. Finally, he barks. Do you have any idea what you've done to your sister? Hello to you too, Dad. My voice comes out steadier than I expect. Don't get smart with me, young lady. Your mother is beside herself. I hear Mom in the background, her voice wobbling with practiced distress. Ask her how she could do this to Leo. Dad, We raised you better than this, Delaney. Family helps family. That's how it works. I have been helping, I say, for 4 years. $42,600 worth of help. Don't punish Leo for your petty financial squabbles, he snaps. This isn't about money. A laugh escapes me, sharp and unfamiliar. It's exactly about money. Money I worked night shifts to earn while Taryn was taking her boyfriend to Benihana. What boyfriend? Mom cuts in, suddenly closer to the phone. Taryn's single. She's struggling alone with Leo while you're being selfish. My fingers move across my phone screen, pulling up the photo I took of the cake. I hit send. Check your messages. The silence that follows lasts precisely 7 seconds. I count each one. That could be anyone's cake, Mom finally says, but her voice has lost some certainty. I send 3 more images. Travis's mail spread across my counter, a bank statement showing my dwindling balance, and a screenshot of Taryn's text from last month. Just need $300 for Leo's school supplies. We'll pay you back when I get my next check. She was going to pay you back, Dad says, but I hear the first crack in his conviction. She's been saying that for 4 years. My hands tremble, but my resolve doesn't. I've canceled classes, postponed car repairs, and eaten ramen for dinner so she could take her boyfriend to restaurants I can't afford. You've always been dramatic, Mom says, but the accusation sounds hollow. I deserve to be treated with respect, I tell them. The words feel foreign in my mouth, but right. By my sister. By you. By myself. Family helps family, Dad repeats, but with less certainty. Yes, and family doesn't lie to family. I end the call before they can respond. The silence in my apartment feels different now, less like emptiness and more like space to breathe. When the phone rings 20 minutes later, I expect more parental guilt. Instead, Uncle Hank's gruff voice fills my kitchen. Your mother called me. What's really going on, kid? Uncle Hank, Dad's older brother, a retired financial advisor who always seemed immune to family drama, the only one who ever questioned why Taryn needed so much help. The story pours out of me, every loan, every lie, every broken promise of repayment. He listens without interrupting until I run out of words. Kid, you've been taken for a ride, he says finally, and everyone let it happen. Something breaks loose inside my chest. So I'm not crazy? Hell no. You've been financing your sister's lifestyle while putting your own life on hold. That's not generosity, that's exploitation. The validation I've craved for years washes over me. I grip the phone tighter. I don't know what to do now. I'll be there in 40 minutes, he says. Don't throw away any evidence. True to his word, Uncle Hank arrives with a legal pad and a no-nonsense expression. His weathered hands spread my financial records across the kitchen table. He reviews text messages where Taryn acknowledges the loans, emails promising repayment, and my meticulous spreadsheet. You've got options, he says, circling a figure on his notepad. First, a reputable debt recovery agency. Isn't that extreme? I ask, my stomach nodding. Is it extreme to ask for what's yours? He fixes me with a steady gaze. Your sister took advantage of your kindness, your parents enabled it, and you've put your life on hold while playing ATM. The truth of his words hits me like a physical blow. 4 years of suppressed frustration, guilt, and resentment crash through the careful walls I've built. Tears spill down my cheeks. Uncle Hank awkwardly pats my shoulder. Let it out, kid. I feel so stupid, I whisper. Not stupid, kind, too kind, maybe. He passes me a napkin. But kindness without boundaries isn't kindness at all. It's just being a doormat. I wipe my eyes, something shifting inside me. I'm done being a doormat. He nods, satisfied, and turns to a fresh page in his legal pad. Then let's get to work. First, we organize this evidence chronologically. As we sort through 4 years of financial records, texts, and emails, I feel a strange lightness growing. With each document we place in order, with each loan amount we calculate fair interest on, my spine straightens a little more. By evening, we have a complete file ready for the debt recovery agent. Uncle Hank rehearses potential explanations with me, preparing me for questions and pushback. They'll try to make you feel like the bad guy, he warns. Your sister, your parents, mutual friends. Are you ready for that? I look at the stack of evidence, at the years of my life put on hold, at the cake photo that finally opened my eyes. I'm ready. For the first time in 4 years, I truly am. The next day, the Midwestern Debt Recovery Services office smells like lemon furniture polish and old coffee. My manila folder bulges with printed text messages, bank statements, and photos, a paper trail of 4 years of financial exploitation. Margaret Wheeler adjusts her reading glasses and spreads my evidence across her mahogany desk. Her silver-streaked bob swings as she nods, examining each document with methodical precision. You've been thorough, Miss Brooks, she says, tapping my spreadsheet. Most clients don't document like this. I shift in the leather chair. I track everything. She slides a form toward me. We'll send formal notification to your sister tomorrow. Based on these acknowledgments, she points to Taryn's texts promising repayment, we have solid ground to pursue the full amount plus standard interest. The pen feels unnaturally heavy as I sign. My signature looks foreign, like it belongs to someone else, someone with backbone. This doesn't make me a bad person, does it? The question escapes before I can swallow it back. Margaret's eyes soften briefly. Setting boundaries isn't cruelty, Miss Brooks. 3 days later, my phone explodes with notifications. Taryn's texts roll in like thunderclaps. How could you? Debt collectors? Your own sister? Leo is in tears. Is money worth destroying your nephew's life? You heartless bitch. Don't expect to ever see us again. I silence my phone and slide it into my desk drawer. The manufacturing floor hums below my supervisor's office, machinery drumming a steady rhythm that drowns out my racing thoughts. By evening, mutual friends join the chorus. My college roommate Bethany calls, Delaney, what the hell? Taryn's devastated. Collection agencies? Really? I picture the robot vacuum humming across Taryn's floor while I shivered through winter with a broken car heater. There's more to the story, I say quietly. The knock on my apartment door comes Saturday morning. I peer through the peephole to see a tall man with broad shoulders and uncomfortable posture. Travis. Can we talk? He asks when I crack the door open. No anger in his voice, just confusion. We sit at my small kitchen table, his frame making my apartment feel smaller than usual. Taryn never told me, he says, turning his coffee mug in circles. About the money, the support, any of it. What did she tell you? His shoulders slump, that she'd built everything herself, single mom pulling herself up. He runs a hand through his sandy hair. I thought the struggling financially bit was an act to get her parents' attention. I almost laughed. They've been in Florida for 3 years. Jesus. He stares at his hands. 40? 2,000? I nod. Tuesday morning, I arrive at Margaret's office to find Travis already there, checkbook in hand. 6,000 today, he tells Margaret, and I'll co-sign for the remainder. Margaret's eyebrows lift as she drafts the payment schedule. $600 monthly. After our fees, Miss Brooks will receive $470 per month. Travis signs without hesitation. She shouldn't have to wait any longer. That night, Uncle Hank texts, well done, kid. Boundaries aren't cruel. 3 weeks later, I deposited my first check from the agency. The teller smiles, unaware of its significance. In the auto shop waiting room, I signed the work order for my car's heating system. The mechanic whistles. 3 years with no heat? You're tougher than me. I smile, thinking how the warmth that will soon fill my car matches the growing warmth of self-respect inside me. 4 years of winter are ending, one boundary at a time. A week later at work, the fluorescent lights of the manufacturing plant buzz overhead as I organize shipping manifests at my desk. A flash of movement at the entrance catches my eye. Taryn stands in the doorway, her eyes red-rimmed, clutching her purse with white knuckles. My stomach tightens. 5 minutes. I tell Rodriguez, my line supervisor, who nods without comment. The plant floor gossip network has been humming with fragments of my situation for weeks. Taryn approaches with that familiar wounded animal look, the one that's worked on me since we were kids sharing a bedroom with the Garfield nightlight between our twin beds. Lainey, please. Her voice breaks. This debt collection thing, it's destroying my credit score. I was only trying to give Leo a good life. I hold up one finger. Not here. The cafe across the street smells of burnt coffee and yesterday's muffins 5 minutes later. The vinyl booth squeaks as we slide in opposite each other. Taryn orders a caramel macchiato with almond milk and extra whip. I ask for black coffee. The payment plan is fair, I say when the waitress leaves. $600 a month for what you and Travis owe. Taryn flinches at Travis's name. You don't understand how hard it is. Stop. The word comes out sharper than I intended. I pull my phone from my pocket, place it on the table between us. I understand exactly how hard things are, for everyone. I open my photo gallery. Taryn's promises fill the screen as I swipe through screenshots of text messages. Just until next month, I swear I'll pay you back. Emergency with Leo's school fees will return it Friday. Last time promise, things are turning around. 4 years of promises. I switched to the calendar app, with every financial transfer highlighted in yellow. $42,600 while you claim to be a struggling single mom. Taryn's eyes darted around the cafe. Lower your voice, this is private. Was it private when you posted on Facebook that I was being cruel to our family? When you called mom and dad to tell them I was punishing Leo? I pull up another photo, Travis's leather jacket hanging by Taryn's front door. This was during the month you told me you couldn't afford winter clothes for Leo. That's not fair. Travis has nothing to do with the cake, Taryn. I showed her the photo of the red velvet anniversary cake. The final piece of evidence feels heavy in my hand. Happy 8 months. 8 months of lies. Taryn's coffee arrives with a mountain of whipped cream. She stirs it absently, creating a caramel hurricane in her cup. What do you want me to say? That I messed up? Fine, I messed up. I want you to understand something. I wrap my hands around my mug, drawing strength from its warmth. I love you. I've always loved you, but I won't be used anymore. I told her about the night classes I canceled. The heating system in my car never got fixed through 2 Ohio winters. The savings account that dwindled to nothing. Each example lands between us like stones in still water. The payment plan stays, I finished. It's already filed with Midwestern Debt Recovery. Something shifts in Taryn's face. The tears vanish. Her expression hardens, calculating. If this is how you're going to be, she hisses across the table, don't expect to see Leo again. Family supports family, Lainey, without conditions. There it is, the threat I knew was coming. The final manipulation card played exactly when I predicted. Uncle Hank warned me it would happen this way. Leo deserves to see what healthy boundaries look like, I say. He deserves adults who tell the truth. Truth? Taryn scoffs. The truth is you've always been jealous of me. You resent that I have Leo, that I have a life beyond that factory. No, I say quietly. The truth is I was convenient, a resource, not a sister. Her silence confirms everything. We're done here. I place a $5 bill on the table for my coffee. The payment schedule starts next week. Travis already signed as co-guarantor. Travis did what? Taryn's voice rises, turning heads at nearby tables. He came to see me. Apparently, he never knew about the money. Thought you were managing fine on your own. I stand, straightening my factory uniform shirt. Interesting what people keep from each other, isn't it? Taryn's face pales. You had no right. I had every right. It's my money. The space between us spans wider than the table. Years of taking advantage versus years of enabling. Neither of us are innocent, but only one of us is ready to change. I walk away without looking back, my steps steadier than they've been in months. The April sunshine feels different on my face warmer somehow. My phone buzzes in my pocket 10 minutes later. Dad's number. Another buzz. Mom. Their first calls in weeks that aren't angry voicemails. I'll answer them later. Maybe. On my terms. Another text comes through as I cross the parking lot back to work. Uncle Hank. Still on for fishing Saturday? I smile. Some family relationships are worth keeping. My phone buzzes one more time. Travis. I'm sorry about everything. Would you be willing to meet so Leo can still see his aunt? I tuck the phone away, not ready to answer yet. The manufacturing plant looms ahead, but for the first time in years, it doesn't feel like a life sentence. It feels like a choice I'm making while I plan my next steps. Sometimes choosing justice over peace isn't selfish. Sometimes it's the only way forward. 6 months later, I straighten my shoulders as I push through the glass doors of Toledo First National Bank. The late spring sunlight warms my back, and for the first time in years, I feel its warmth inside me too. Good morning, Miss Brooks. The teller smiles as I approach her window. What can I help you with today? I slide my credit card statement across the counter. Bold black letters declare balance, $0, where crushing numbers once lived. I'd like to open a savings account. I say, the words tasting like possibility on my tongue. The teller her name tag reads Judith nods appreciatively. First time? First time since 2020, I replied, fishing for my driver's license from my wallet. While Judith taps at her keyboard, I catch my reflection in the polished surface of her nameplate. The circles under my eyes have faded. My hair, pulled back in a neat ponytail, shines in the fluorescent light. The woman staring back at me stands straighter than she did half a year ago. Initial deposit? Judith asks. I handed her a check for $1,200, exactly 2 months of Taryn's payments. The first 6 arrived like clockwork, each one a small victory. Travis makes sure they never miss a due date. Perfect, Judith says, printing documents for me to sign. Any questions about our savings options? I shake my head, signing where she indicates, just looking forward to watching it grow. 20 minutes later, I slide into my car and press the heater button. Warm air floods the interior immediately, no more waiting through 10 freezing minutes of winter commutes while the ancient system sputters to life. The $380 repair bill from January feels like the best money I've ever spent. My phone buzzes with a text from Uncle Hank. Weather looks perfect for Saturday. Fish should be biting. You in? I smile, typing back. Wouldn't miss it. Our weekly fishing trip started as a distraction, but became something more: hours of comfortable silence punctuated by his gruff wisdom, the gentle rhythm of casting and reeling, the patience of waiting for something worthwhile. Fish are like people, he told me during our first outing. Push too hard, they spook. Give 'em space, they come around. He was right about more than just fish. That evening, I spread my course materials across my kitchen table. The certification program in quality control management welcomes me back without judgment for my 2-year absence. 3 months of night classes down, 5 to go. My phone rings Mom and Dad's number. Their calls come monthly now, tentative olive branches extended from Florida. The conversations remain careful, but the accusations have stopped. Last month, Dad actually asked about my classes. Hello? I answer, tucking the phone between ear and shoulder as I highlight a passage in my textbook. Just checking in, Mom says. How are things? The question lacks its former weight. It's no longer code for, what are you doing for your sister? Good. Busy with classes. Uncle Hank's taking me fishing Saturday. That's nice, honey. A pause. Taryn mentioned Leo misses you. I set down my highlighter. Travis can bring him by Sunday afternoon if he wants. Same arrangement as before. The supervised visits were my idea. I love my nephew, but boundaries matter. I'll let her know, Mom says, her voice careful but no longer judgmental. After we hang up, I trace my finger over my bank app, watching the numbers that represent my future taking shape, one deposit at a time. For the first time in years, tomorrow feels like a promise instead of a threat.